I would say maybe the scariest thing, like shit, maybe getting shot at or something. Or like, I don't know, maybe getting shot at, you feel me?
What's the scariest thing that could happen to you? Getting shot at? Losing everything? Lucas Coley asked himself that question on camera. But girl, the real scary thing? Nobody saw what was coming next. This brother had 1.2 million people following him, watching him, loving him. So tell me how Mayo's just hours after posting "I love y'all." He's found dead in Vegas. And his girl Amber, oh, so now she's getting blamed for everything. But hey, let me back up real quick. October 2nd, 2024. That date is gonna haunt some folks forever. Lucas posts those 3 little words on his Instagram story. I love y'all. Simple, right? Wrong. Because hours later, this 27-year-old is gone. Found dead in Las Vegas with a single gunshot wound to the head. The Clark County coroner confirmed what happened. Lucas took his own life. But wait, here's where this whole thing gets twisted. His girlfriend Amber had just sent him a breakup text. After 9 whole years together. After they built that YouTube channel with over 40 videos. After he spent all that time teaching her French while millions of people watched them fall in love. And the part that's gonna stick with you. Baby, she was on that phone when it happened. She heard the whole thing go down. No, he did it. That's what she screamed before telling her mama to call 911.
Wish this didn't happen. I feel like it was another way. When I was on the phone and I heard it, I screamed. I said, no, he did it. I said, mom, called.
Can you even imagine? This French-American rapper had 500,000 YouTube subscribers, over 1 million on the gram, and that one song with 15 million views. From the outside looking in, Lucas Coley had it all. The fame, the love, the success, everything. So what was in that final message that pushed him to the edge? What made him do something so permanent? You're watching Shadow Crimes TV, where we bring true crime and domestic violence stories out of the shadows. Subscribe now and join us daily as we uncover the cases that demand to be heard. Don't just watch, be part of the conversation. This story, baby, it's about to take some turns that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming.
Hey, it's a brand new year. If you ain't trying to get no brand new money with me this year, goodbye.
Now let me tell you something about Lucas Coley. This brother wasn't supposed to be no rap star. Born July 8, 1997 in France. Yeah, France. His whole life changed when his family said we out and moved to Las Vegas. He was only 8 years old. 8. Picture being that little kid who barely speaks English, getting thrown into American schools right there in the middle of the Nevada desert. Like most kids would have folded under that pressure. But Lucas? Nah, he turned that struggle into his superpower. For real. While other kids was on their PlayStation and Xbox, Lucas was on Vine. Y'all remember Vine, right? He was dropping these bilingual rap videos that had people like, hold up, what is this? He would flow so smooth from English to French, creating this whole unique sound that made folks stop scrolling and actually pay attention. His breakthrough wasn't from no record label discovery either. This was pure hustle, baby. Pure hustle. In 2016, he dropped I Just Wanna and watched that thing blow up to 15 million views. Just like that, this immigrant kid who barely made it through high school was getting recognized on the streets. People was stopping him like, yo, you that dude from the internet. But here's the thing, Lucas wasn't even trying to chase that mainstream success. His manager would later reveal something that's gonna break your heart. Lucas never got radio play and refused to sell out. It hurts seeing all the press he's getting now. We wanted that while he was here. Moving on, he released that mixtape Prince of France in September 2016, 20 tracks showing everything he could do. Then came I Keep Pushing Vol. 1 in June 2017. The brother was working. He was part of this rap group called Diamond Z with Willie Fries in Third and Dylan Troy before they all split up to do their own thing. He also had this duo called Lucas and Nonso with his friend Nonso. See, he wasn't just about being solo, he genuinely loved creating music with other people. By the time he hit his mid-20s, Lucas had built himself a whole empire. Those 1.2 million Instagram followers was hanging on every single post. His YouTube channel hit 500,000 subscribers. He used to go by Kid Lucas, but he had evolved into something way bigger than that. His last release came in August 2024, a track called No Comp. Nobody knew that would be his last one. His manager, who went by I Discover Stars, wasn't just about business either. He called Lucas more of a brother to me than my client. That's the type of loyalty Lucas inspired in people. Real loyalty. But here's what those millions of followers didn't see, and this is important. Behind all them confident rap videos and success stories, Lucas was fighting battles that would eventually eat him alive. That same cultural identity that made him special, it also left him feeling caught between two worlds, never fully belonging to either one. Think about it, he's French but living in America, speaking both languages perfectly, but where's home really? Where do you really fit in? That's a different kind of lonely, you feel me? Instagram DMs was still kinda new, and most celebrities wasn't even checking their messages. But when Amber Harrison slid into Lucas Coley's DMs, something different happened. She wasn't expecting nothing back. This was just a shot in the dark from a girl who probably sent dozens of messages to influencers, just hoping somebody would acknowledge her existence. But Lucas, he actually hit her back. Like, actually replied. What started as just some DM exchange turned into late-night phone calls, then video chats, then something neither one of them expected, real love. And I'm talking about that real type of love. By 2017, they was officially together, and fans was obsessed. Here you got this bilingual rapper from France dating this gorgeous influencer, and their chemistry, undeniable. They wasn't just posting cute couple photos either, they was creating content that made people believe in love again. For real, people was in the comments like, this is what I need in my life. In 2018, they launched Lucas and Amber on YouTube, and baby, it became appointment viewing for hundreds of thousands of fans. These wasn't no staged fake relationship videos either. This was raw, authentic content that showed real intimacy. You know what their most popular videos was? Lucas patiently teaching Amber French phrases while she struggled with the pronunciation.
So let's start off with what?
What?
Quoi?
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 Yeah.
Je veux de la pizza.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, where the hell? They're gonna be like, where the hell? Yeah.
They would both be cracking up when she butchered the accent. Fans ate it up because it felt genuine. This successful rapper taking time to share his culture with the woman he loved. That's different. That hits different. Their travel vlogs was different too. While other influencer couples was posting perfect vacation shots with the filters and all that, Lucas and Amber showed the messy real moments, flight delays, bad hotel rooms, arguments over directions, but always ending with them laughing together. They did food challenges, Q&As, day in the life content. Over 40 videos that gave fans unprecedented access to their relationship. The comment sections was flooded with relationship goals and I want what they have. But Amber wasn't just along for the ride either. She had her own following, her own brand, her own ambitions. This wasn't no clout chasing situation. These was two successful people who genuinely seemed to complement each other. For 9 years, they built something that looked unbreakable. 9 years. Fans watched Amber learn French, saw Lucas open up emotionally in ways he never did in his music, witnessed two people from different backgrounds creating their own little world. They survived the transition from Vine to Instagram to YouTube. They weathered all that pressure of public relationships, the constant scrutiny, the fans who felt like they was entitled to their personal business. Drop your city in the comments if you've ever been in a relationship that looked perfect from the outside but was struggling behind closed doors. Because let me tell you something, what those 40+ YouTube videos never showed was the late night arguments, the depression Lucas was battling, the weight Amber was carrying, trying to be his entire support system. Social media relationships are performances even when they feel authentic. Every couple's content is curated, edited, filtered through the lens of what's gonna get views and engagement. What fans didn't realize was that behind those sweet French lessons and travel adventures, something darker was growing. Lucas was becoming more and more dependent on Amber for his emotional stability. And she was slowly drowning under the pressure of being someone's entire reason for living. The cracks was forming, but the cameras never captured them. Never. While millions of fans was watching Lucas and Amber's picture-perfect relationship unfold on YouTube, a completely different story was playing out when them cameras turned off. Lucas was drowning, and I mean drowning for real. Depression had wrapped itself around him like a snake, squeezing tighter every single day. But this wasn't the type of sadness you post about on social media or talk about in vlogs. Nah, this was the kind that makes you disappear for days. The kind that makes simple tasks feel impossible. The kind that convinces you the world would be better without you in it. Amber saw it all. The man who could effortlessly flow between French and English on camera. He would spend hours just staring at walls in silence. The rapper who commanded stages and built a 1-million-follower empire. Some mornings he couldn't even get out of bed. And she tried everything, y'all. Everything. Gentle conversations about therapy, research into counselors who specialized in depression, offers to go with him to appointments. She became his unofficial therapist, his emotional crutch, his reason to keep breathing. But Lucas refused professional help. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was that stigma that still surrounds therapy, especially for young men in the entertainment industry. Or maybe he genuinely believed Amber's love could fix what was broken inside him. But baby, the pressure was crushing her. Imagine being in your 20s and feeling responsible for keeping another human being alive. Every time she left for work, every time she didn't answer her phone immediately, every argument became a potential trigger. Their relationship transformed from partnership to life support. Amber wasn't just his girlfriend anymore. She was his entire emotional infrastructure. When she was happy, he could function. When she was stressed or distant, he spiraled. Like, that's not healthy. That's not sustainable. But that's what was happening behind all them smiles and couple goals posts. The social media facade became harder and harder to maintain. Those cheerful YouTube videos required more and more energy to produce. Fans started noticing longer gaps between uploads, but they thought it was just busy schedules. They didn't know it was mental health crises happening off camera. Lucas's manager later revealed they used to speak on our struggles all the time but smile for the fans. Even his professional relationships was built around hiding the pain, performing happiness while battling demons privately. That's exhausting. That's soul-crushing. By 2024, Amber was approaching 30 and facing a brutal reality. She had spent nearly a decade, a whole decade, trying to save someone who didn't want to be saved. Her own mental health was deteriorating under the weight of being Lucas's sole source of stability. The breaking point came when she realized she had two choices: continue sacrificing her own well-being in a futile attempt to fix someone else, or make the hardest decision of her life. She chose herself, and before y'all come for her, listen to what she said. I couldn't do it anymore. I'm about to be 30. If you don't want the help by now, if you don't got the help by now, you don't want the help. The breakup wasn't sudden or cruel. It was the desperate act of a woman who had given everything she had and finally accepted it would never be enough. But Lucas, he couldn't handle losing the person who had become his entire world. October 2nd, 2024. Let me paint you this picture of the day that would haunt Amber Harrison for the rest of her life. The breakup wasn't no screaming match or dramatic blowout. After 9 years together, it was just exhausted resignation. Amber had finally reached her breaking point. She couldn't be Lucas's entire support system no more. But Lucas, baby, he was not ready to let go. Not even close. The phone calls started immediately, and these wasn't angry calls neither. These was desperate ones. The kind where someone's voice cracks because they trying not to completely fall apart. Lucas was begging, pleading, making promises he'd made 100 times before. I'll get help, he said. I'll go to therapy. I'll change. But see, Amber had heard these promises for years. She'd researched therapists, made appointments he wouldn't keep, watched him spiral again and again while refusing professional help. She was done being his unpaid, unqualified counselor. Done. Then the threats started. And this is where it gets real dark. Lucas began saying things that made Amber's blood run cold. If she didn't come back, if she didn't give him another chance, he would hurt himself. He would end everything.
I love him dearly, but he needed help. Period. Needed help. Help that I've damn near lost myself trying to give.
Listen to what Amber said. I love him dearly, but he needed help, period. Needed help. Help that I've damn near lost myself trying to give. This wasn't the first time he'd used these tactics. When you're desperate to keep someone, when your entire emotional stability depends on one person, manipulation becomes survival. But Amber had learned something crucial. You cannot save someone by sacrificing yourself. You just can't. But she stayed on the phone anyway. Maybe she hoped she could talk him down. Maybe she was terrified of what would happen if she hung up. Maybe after 9 years she couldn't just abandon him in his darkest moment. The conversation stretched on, Lucas's voice getting more erratic, more desperate. Amber trying to balance firmness with compassion, knowing that giving in would only restart the cycle that was destroying them both. Then she heard it, that sound that would replay in her nightmares forever. A single gunshot that ended everything. No, 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 he did it. He did it. Amber's screams echoed through her house as the reality hit her. The man she'd loved for nearly a decade, the person she'd tried desperately to save, had just taken his own life while she listened helplessly. Mom, call 911. But it was too late. Lucas Coley was gone. Just like that. Gone. The Clark County Office of Coroner and Medical Examiner would later confirm what Amber already knew. Lucas had died from a single gunshot wound to the head, self-inflicted. His final Instagram story posted just hours before "My love y'all," 3 words that now read like a goodbye letter to his 1.2 million followers who had no idea their favorite rapper was planning to end his life. His manager's world shattered too. The man who called Lucas more of a brother than a client posted through his grief, "Being your manager was one of the reasons I stayed here. There's a hole in my heart right now. Lucas, we used to speak on our struggles all the time, but smile for the fans. But girl, the most devastating detail. His manager's deleted posts revealed the depth of his own pain. I'd be a hypocrite if I told you not to, and I go and do the same." Lucas's death didn't just end one life, it traumatized everyone who loved him. Amber was left with survivor's guilt and the horrific memory of hearing someone die. His manager was questioning his own will to live, fans was left wondering how they missed the signs. The rapper who had built his career on resilience, on keeping pushing, had finally reached a point where he couldn't push no more. October 2nd, 2024 became the day that proved love alone isn't enough to save someone from their demons. Love ain't enough, y'all. It's just not. Within hours of Lucas's death becoming public, the internet turned into a straight-up battlefield. And Amber Harrison, she became public enemy #1. Thousands of Lucas's fans flooded her social media with vicious comments. You killed him. His blood is on your hands. You could have saved him, but you chose to be selfish. The hate was relentless, brutal, and completely misguided. Like, make it make sense. This woman just heard the love of her life die over the phone, and y'all attacking her? She was forced to disable her Instagram comments as the harassment escalated. Death threats mixed with accusations. Strangers who knew nothing about their 9-year relationship was painting her as a villain in a tragedy she never asked to be part of. On Thursday, just after the news broke, Amber posted a picture of a phone turned off with a desperate caption. This made me feel a lot better. Oh men, y'all don't know the half, leave me alone. Let him rest. The pain in those words was obvious. Here was a woman who had just experienced the most traumatic event of her life, niece hearing someone she loved take their own life. And instead of receiving support, she was being blamed for his death. But the attacks didn't stop. Oh no, they got worse. Fans created conspiracy theories about what she said in that final breakup message. They analyzed old YouTube videos looking for evidence that she was manipulative or cruel. They turned their grief into rage and aimed it directly at her. Like, what part of the game is that? Meanwhile, Lucas's manager was drowning in his own grief. His initial Instagram post was raw, unfiltered pain. Rest in peace at I am Lucas Cole. I love you, bro. My heart is ripped in half. Wait for me up there. But then he changed the caption to just a heart emoji, as if even expressing his grief publicly felt too vulnerable. His follow-up post revealed the depth of their relationship. Being your manager was one of the reasons I stayed here. There's a hole in my heart right now, Lucas. We used to speak on our struggles all the time, but smile for the fans. So many people hurt us again and again, but we had each other. I don't know what to do now. The most chilling part, his deleted confession, I'd be a hypocrite if I told you not to, and I go and do the same. Lucas's death was pushing his manager toward the same dark thoughts. That's how deep this pain went. Fellow Vine star Demetrius Harmon posted tribute photos, writing simply, "Rest up, my boy." The creator community was mourning one of their own while watching the toxic fan response unfold. His agency I Discover Stars tried to honor Lucas's memory. I'm going to be in mourning. My brother is gone. Don't wait until someone dies to give them their flowers. That last line hit different. Lucas had achieved posthumous recognition that eluded him in life. His manager's earlier words echoed Lucas never got radio play and refused to sell out. It hurts seeing all the press he's getting now. We wanted that while he was here. The tragedy wasn't just Lucas's death. It was how quickly people turned grief into blame. How a woman who tried to save someone for 9 years became the scapegoat for his final decision. That's not right. That's not fair. And it shows how little people understand about mental health and relationships. Lucas Coley's story isn't just about one tragic death. It's a mirror reflecting the dark side of our digital age. Think about it. Here was a guy with 1.2 million Instagram followers, 500,000 YouTube subscribers, and a hit song with 15 million views. By every social media metric, Lucas was winning. But behind those numbers was a man so broken that he couldn't see any way forward. This is the brutal reality of social media fame. You can have millions of people following your every move but still feel completely alone. Lucas and his manager used to speak on our struggles all the time but smile for the fans. They was performing happiness while battling demons privately. How many people doing that same thing right now? The immigration factor made everything worse. Lucas moved to America at 8 years old, spending his entire childhood caught between two cultures. He spoke French and English fluently, but did he ever feel like he truly belonged anywhere? That cultural displacement creates an identity crisis that can last a lifetime. His manager revealed something heartbreaking. Lucas never got radio play and refused to sell out. Even with millions of followers, he felt like an outsider in the music industry. Social media success don't translate to traditional recognition, leaving creators in this weird limbo where they famous but not really accepted. But the most dangerous pattern was his relationship dependency. Lucas had made Amber his entire emotional support system. When she tried to leave, he couldn't imagine existing without her. That's not love, y'all. That's emotional hostage taking. And it happens more than people realize. One person becomes responsible for another person's entire mental health, and it destroys both people. Amber spent 9 years trying to be Lucas's therapist, his motivation, his reason to live. No human being should carry that weight. Nobody. The warning signs was everywhere, but nobody knew how to read them. His final Instagram story, "I love y'all," seemed like typical social media positivity. His manager's posts about struggling was vague enough to miss. Even Amber, who knew him better than anyone, couldn't predict the exact moment he'd follow through on his threats. Here's what's really messed up. Lucas's death got more media attention than his entire career. His manager was right. It hurts seeing all the press he's getting now. We wanted that while he was here. Society pays attention to mental health only after it's too late. Always after it's too late. The fan reaction to Amber shows how little people understand about relationships and responsibility. She spent nearly a decade trying to save him, sacrificed her own well-being, and still got blamed when she finally chose herself. That victim-blaming mentality keeps people trapped in toxic situations. It's gotta stop. What warning signs have you noticed in friends or family that you maybe didn't take seriously enough? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your story might help someone else recognize when to get help. Lucas's case proves that fame, love, and success can't cure depression. Professional help isn't optional when someone is struggling. It's essential. And nobody, not even someone who loves you deeply, should be your only reason for staying alive. If Lucas Coley's story teaches us anything, it's that we need to get better at recognizing when someone is in real danger. The signs was there, but they was hidden behind social media posts and private conversations. His final "I love y'all" Instagram story wasn't random. It was a goodbye message that millions of followers interpreted as typical influencer positivity. Here's what actually matters. If someone threatens to hurt themselves during a breakup or argument, take it seriously. Every single time. Lucas had made these threats before and Amber had learned not to give in to manipulation. But this time was different. When someone says they can't live without you, it's not romantic. It's a red flag. Healthy relationships involve two complete people choosing to be together, not one person depending on another for their will to live. Professional help isn't negotiable when someone is struggling with depression. Amber tried for years to get Lucas into therapy, but you can't force someone to get help. That's the most heartbreaking part. She did everything right, and it still wasn't enough. If you're supporting someone with mental health issues, you need support too. Amber carried Lucas's emotional weight for 9 years without proper resources. Caregiver burnout is real, and it can destroy the person trying to help. Crisis resources exist for a reason. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is available 24/7. Call or text 988. The Trevor Project serves LGBTQ+ youth at 1-866-488-7386. The National Alliance on Mental Illness hotline is 1-800-950-6264. But here's the hard truth. These resources only work if people use them. Lucas had access to help but refused it. His manager was struggling but didn't reach out. Amber was drowning, focused on saving Lucas instead of herself. The biggest lesson from Lucas's death isn't about recognizing warning signs. It's about accepting that you cannot save someone who doesn't want to be saved. Love isn't enough. Good intentions aren't enough. Sometimes, despite doing everything right, tragedy still happens. It's not your fault. It's not Amber's fault. It wasn't Lucas's manager's fault. Mental illness killed Lucas Coley, not the people who loved him. Lucas Coley's final words to the world was, "I love y'all." 3 simple words that now carry the weight of a life cut short, dreams unfulfilled, and a community left searching for answers. His legacy isn't just the bilingual rap videos that made him famous, or the 15 million views on I Just Wanna, or even the joint YouTube channel that made millions believe in love. His real legacy is the conversation his death started. We talking about mental health differently now. We questioning the pressure of social media fame. We examining how we treat people who are struggling and how we blame the wrong people when tragedy strikes. Lucas wanted to be remembered for his music, for refusing to sell out, for staying authentic in an industry that rewards fake. But maybe his most important contribution is forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about depression, relationships, and the responsibility we have to each other. His manager was right. We should give people their flowers while they're here, but we also need to give them professional help, healthy boundaries, and the understanding that love alone can't cure mental illness. If you're struggling, reach out. If someone you love is struggling, get them help, but don't sacrifice yourself in the process. Lucas's "I love y'all" was his goodbye, but it can be our beginning. The start of better conversations, better support systems, and better outcomes for people fighting battles we can't see. Thank you for watching, thank you for caring, and thank you for being part of this community that refuses to let these stories fade away. Until next time, stay safe out there. Look out for each other, and remember, we're stronger together than we are apart. This is Shadowed Crimes TV, and we'll see you in the next one. Rest in peace, Lucas Coley. Your story won't be forgotten. Your pain wasn't in vain, and maybe, just maybe, somebody watching this will get the help they need because of you.